Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari. Jaya Yashoda Nandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana. Jaya Yashoda Nandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana. Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jyom Vishnupada Paramahamsa Prabhupada Ashtottara Shri Śrīmad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT Founder-Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jyom Vishnupada Paramahamsa Prabhupada Ashtottara Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananda Kodi Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada की जय. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 4, entitled Ambarish Maharaj Offended by Durvasa Muni, verse number 57 to 59. We will read 57 to start with. Aham sanat kumarascha Narado Bhagavanaja Kabilo Pandaratamo Devalo Dharma Asurihi Aham Sanat Kumarascha Narado Bhagavanaja Kabilo Pandaratamo Devalo Dharma Asurihi Aham Sanat Kumarascha Narado Bhagavanaja Kabilo Pandaratamo Devalo Dharma Asurihi Aham Sanat Kumarascha Aham Sanat Kumarascha Aham Sanat Kumarascha Narado Bhagavanaja Kabilo Pandaratamo Devalo Dharma Asurihi Aham Sanat Kumarascha Narado Bhagavanaja Kabilo Pandaratamo Devalo Dharma Asurihi Mataji Aham Sanat Kumarascha Narado Bhagavanaja Kabilo Pandaratamo Devalo Dharma Asurihi Aham Sanat Kumarascha Narado Bhagavanaja Kabilo Pandaratamo Devalo Dharma Asurihi Aham Sanat Kumarascha Narado Bhagavanaja Kabilo Pandaratamo Devalo Dharma Asurihi. So I'll continue reading because 57 till 59 are together. Mariji Pramukha Chanye Siddhesha Paradarshanaha Vidam va Vayam Sarve Yanmayam Mayaya Vrtaha Tasya Vishveshwarasyedam Shastram Durvishaham Hinah Tam evam sharanam yahi haristesham vidhasyati. Word to word translation, responsively please. Aham, I. Sanat Kumaraha, Cha, and the four Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara, and Sananda. Naradaha, the heavenly sage Narada. Bhagavan Ajaha, the supreme creator of the universe, Lord Brahma. Kapilaha, the son of Devahuti. Apandaratamaha, Vyasadev. Devalaha, the great sage Devala. Dharmaha, Yamaraja. Asurihi, the great saint Asuri. Marichi, the great Saint Marichi, Pramukhaha, headed by, Cha, also, Anye, others, Siddha Ishaha, all of them perfect in their knowledge, Paradarshanaha, they have seen the end of all knowledge, Vidamaha, can understand, Na, not, Vayam, all of us, Sarve, totally, Yat Mayam, the illusory energy of whom? Mayaya, by that illusory energy. Avrataha, being covered. Tasya, his. Vishwa Isharasya, of the Lord of the universe. Idam, this. Shastram, weapon, the disc. Durvishaham, even intolerable. He, indeed, Naha, of us. Tam, to him. Evam, therefore. Sharanam Yahi, go to take shelter. Harihi, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Te, for you. Sham, auspiciousness. Vidhasyati, certainly will perform. Past, present and future are known to me, Lord Shiva. Sanat Kumara, Narada, the most revered, Lord Brahma, Kapila, the son of Devahuti, Apantaratama, Lord Vyasadev, Devala, Yamaraj, Asuri, Marichi, and many saintly persons headed by him, as well as many others who have achieved perfection. Nonetheless, because we are covered by the illusory energy of the Lord, we cannot understand how expansive that illusory energy is. You should simply approach that Supreme Personality of Godhead to get relief, for this Sudarshan Chakra is intolerable even to us. Go to Lord Vishnu. He will certainly be kind enough to bestow all good fortune upon you. Verse 60. Tato nirasho durvasa padam bhagavato yayo vaigunthakyam yad adhyaste Srinivasa Shriyasaha. Thereafter, being disappointed, even in taking shelter of Lord Shiva, Durvasa Muni went to Vaikuntha Dhama, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, resides with his consort, the goddess of fortune. Verse 61. Sandahyamano jidashastra vannina tatpada mule padita save pathuhu ahachyutananda sadipsita prabho kritaka sammavahi vishwabhavana. Durvasa Muni, the great mystic, scorched by the heat of the Sudarshan Chakra, fell at the lotus feet of Narayana. His body trembling, he spoke as follows: O infallible, unlimited Lord, protector of the entire universe, you are the only desirable objective for all devotees. I am a great offender. My Lord, please give me protection. 62. Ajanatate paramanubhavam kritam mayagham bhavata priyanam vidhehi tasya pajitim vidhata muchyedayennam nyudite naragopi. O my Lord, O Supreme Controller, without knowledge of your unlimited prowess, I have offended your most dear devotee. Very kindly save me from the reaction of this offense. You can do everything, for even if a person is fit for going to hell, you can deliver him simply by awakening within his heart the holy name of your Lordship. Verse 63, very famous verse, to be memorized verse, if you haven't. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Okay, maybe we can repeat. This is such an important verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. aham bhakta paradhino hi aswatantra ivadvija sadhubirgrasta hridayo bhaktir bhakta janapriyaha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Aham, I, Bhakta Paradhinaha, am dependent on the will of my devotees. He, indeed, Aswatantraha, am not independent. Iva, exactly like that. Dvija, O Brahmana, Sadhubhihi, by pure devotees, completely free from all material desires. Grasta Hridayaha, my heart is controlled. Bhaktaihi, because they are devotees. Bhakta Janapriyaha, I am dependent not only on my devotee, but also on my devotee's devotee. The devotee's devotee is extremely dear to me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said to the Brahmana, I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent. Because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires, I sit only within the core of their hearts. What to speak of my devotee? Even those who are devotees of my devotee are very dear to me. Who is telling this? Lord Narayana. Very important verse. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the great stalwart personalities in the universe, including Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, are fully under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead is fully under the control of His devotee. Why is this? Because the devotee is anyabhilashita shunya. In other words, he has no material desires in his heart. His only desire is to think always of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and how to serve Him best. Because of this transcendental qualification, the Supreme Lord is extremely favorable to the devotees. Indeed, not only the devotees, but also the devotees of the devotees. Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistar Payeche Keba. Without being a devotee of a devotee, one cannot be released from material entanglement. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu identified himself as Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayor Dasa Dasanu Dasaha. Thus, he instructed us to become not directly servants of Krishna, but servants of the servant of Krishna. Devotees like Brahma, Narada, Vyasadeva and Shukadeva Goswami are directly servant of Krishna, and one who becomes a servant of Narada, Vyasadeva and Shukadeva, like the 6 Goswamis, is still more devoted. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur therefore says, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadaha. If one very sincerely serves the spiritual master, Krishna certainly becomes favorable to such a devotee. Following the instructions of a devotee is more valuable than following the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimrandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa kadamahyam dadati sapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanyatamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bhutair Mahatbhir Yaima Puro Vibhu Nirmaya Shete Yadamusha Purusha Bhungte Gunan Shodashatmaka Solankrishishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me. Hare Krishna. Such a beautiful section of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam where the Lord is revealing His own heart. Durvasa Muni, in fact, after offending the Lord's dear devotee, Ambarish Maharaj, has now approached Lord Shiva. His expansion, Lord Shiva's expansion is Durvasa. So he went to, in one sense, his own father, requested for mercy and protection. But what did Lord Shiva say? Is there any hope? No. So he says, we are perfected beings. This is interesting to know that we are perfected beings and we know past, present and future. But still they say that we are not completely freed, or we don't know the extent of Maya. We don't know the extent of this expansive, illusory energy. And we cannot give you protection. Only one person can give you protection, and that is Supreme Lord Narayana. And so please go to Vaikuntha Loka. There is a lot of distance between Kailas and Vaikuntha Loka. Lot of distance, because Kailas is in the periphery of the material and the spiritual world. Lord Shiva is the Dwarapalak. He is the protector of the gateway to the spiritual world. It is applicable in Dham when we go to the spiritual world as well as in the material world. Lord Shiva is present as the Dham Palak. Always there. Whether it is Jagannath Puri, whether it is Vrindavan, wherever we go, there is Lord is there. Lord Shiva is there. And he instructed Durvasa Muni, I cannot give you any protection, but go to Vaikuntha Dham. So in fact, Lord is residing in Vaikuntha Dham along with his consort Lakshmi Devi. And here Durvasa Muni approached the Lord. He had that mercy that he could go to Vaikuntha Dham directly. And he approached and he fell at the feet of the Lord and he glorified the Lord and he told, I am an offender. Very clear. Kridagasam. I have done offense. I am Kridagasam. Aga means agasam. Aga means sin. Kritagasam. I have done sins. So please protect me. Ma avahi. Avahi means give protection. Please give me protection to me. Vishwabhavana. Oh, you are the well-wisher of the entire universe. Oh Lord, Narayan, you are the well-wisher of the entire universe. Now that I have taken shelter at your lotus feet, so please give me protection. So this is very, very strong point from a devotee because he's accepting his mistake and fell at the feet of the Supreme Lord and he's telling, you are the Supreme Controller, right? Ajanadate paramanubhavam. I didn't know your unlimited prowess. I didn't know about your devotees, but still I committed this offense. And your mercy is so much so that somebody who is ready to go to the hell, even such a person can be reformed by your mercy. We know Ajamil. By the mercy. What mercy is that? By awakening within his heart the holy name of your Lordship. By the power of the holy name. Exactly referring to Ajamil pastime, right? So even such a person who is ready to go to hell, not even directly calling upon the Lord directly, but intending to call someone else his own son, but the Lord is so merciful that such a person can be delivered by your mercy. Now here Durvasa Muni is presenting a very strong case. But the Lord's response is astounding, amazing. Here the Lord is very, very merciful to reveal his heart. What is telling? Aham bhakta paradhinaha. Aham bhakta paradhinaha. Paradhina means dependency. Somebody who is dependent. Aham bhakta paradhinaha. I am completely dependent on my devotees. He aswatantraha iva dvija. Oh dvija, there is an interesting word is used. Aswatantraha iva. Here it's used certainly or exactly, but just like I am as if I am dependent. No swatantriya. Swatantriya means independence. No independence. The Lord is telling I have no independence. Aswatantraha iva. But one word is used, iva. Here is translated exactly. And also further we will explain this word. So aswatantraha iva duja. Oh duja. Sadhubi grasta hridayaha. I am being completely controlled by my devotees. My heart is grasta hridaya. Basic grasta means captured. Grasta. Grasta hridaya means one whose heart is completely captured. By whom? Sadhubhihi. By the devotees. The Lord is telling, my devotees have captured my heart. So, I have no independence. And then bhaktehi, bhakta janapriya, bhaktehi sadhubhi grasta hridaya, then bhakta janapriya. I am very dear to a devotee of my devotee. So this is the position of the Supreme Lord. So he is telling his heart here. The Lord reveals the dynamics of relationship between the Lord and his devotees, which is very sweet. In nectar devotion, we know 6 characteristics of devotion service. What are the 2 characteristics at the stage of sadhana? Shubhada and Kleshagni. Kleshagni and Shubhada. Klesha, all the material sufferings primarily in the heart. Gna means destroys. And Shubhada gives all auspiciousness, which is perfected at the stage of Nishtha, mature stage of Nishtha. Then, for the Bhava Bhakti, what are the extra 2 qualities? Exactly. Minimizing liberation. Moksha laghuta krit. Then, one more. Very rare. Sudurlabha. The Lord will not give Bhava Bhakti so easily. Sudurlabha. Very difficult. Then, in the Prema Bhakti, there are 2 more qualities. Which are they? Attracts Krishna. Then yes. Then one more. condensed happiness. Sandrananda Visheshatma. Sandrananda Visheshatma, that is there. And also Sri Krishna Akarshani. Sri Krishna Akarshani. So Rupa Goswami explains in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Kritva Harim Prema Bhajam Priyavarga Samanyutam Bhaktir Vashikaroti iti Sri Krishna Akarshani Mataha. He explains what is this Sri Krishna Akarshani. What is his attractiveness to Krishna? What attracts Krishna? He says, Kritva Harim Prema Bhajam. Hari. This bhakti, this pure bhakti, as it is mentioned in this purport, Anyabhilashita Shunya Bhakti, that is, what happens to that bhakti? If we have that bhakti, Kritva Harim Prema Bhajam, makes Hari, Krishna, Prema Bhak. What is the meaning of Prema Bhak? He becomes completely captured by the love of his devotees. That's what the Lord is telling here. Kritva Harim Prema Bhajam. Not only Hari, Priyavarga Samanitam. The Lord is captured by, along with all the devotees. So a pure devotee attracts Lord along with all other devotees. So the Lord is never alone. So the Lord as well as all the devotees are attracted to a pure devotee. So Kritva Harim Prema Bhajam Priyavarga Samanitam Bhakti Vashikaroti. Attracts. So bhakti attracts the Lord. And that's what this Lord is telling here. What is that? Grasta Hridayaha. By the devotee sadhabhihi, bhaktehi grasta Hridayaha. Captured the heart. What is capturing? Captured by the devotees means captured by the devotion of the devotee, the bhakti of the bhakta. That is capturing. And what kind of bhakti? That is explained. No material desires, but only pure devotion. So in the 7th canto, Shukadeva Goswami, we can hear the whole narration of Prahlada Maharaj's pastime. After hearing the pastimes, Yudhishthira Maharaj started thinking, the standard set by Prahlada Maharaj is so high. So devotees with their natural humility start thinking, if you hear the glories of the devotees in general, we think, we don't have any qualities. The standard set by Prahlada Maharaj is so high. How can I come to the standard of Prahlada Maharaj? Yudhishthira Maharaj started thinking like that. So who understood? Who is speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj in the 7th canto? Narada Muni. So Narada Muni understood. Narada Muni understood. When hearing this, Narada Muni understood. Then he wanted to remind Yudhishthira Maharaj, don't worry. Your family's devotion is great. So that's why he chanted this verse. Yuyam nirloke bahabhuri bhaja lokam punana munaya bhayanti eshan grihanta navasati iti sakshat gudham param brahma manushya lingam. He said, don't worry, yuyam nirloke bahubhuri bhaga. Who are you? In the whole material universe, you are what kind of great good fortune? Bahu bhuri bhaga. Bhaga means good fortune. One of the translation. Bhaga is good fortune. Bata bhuri bhaga. Indeed, bhuri bhaga. You are most fortunate. Why? Lokam punanaha munayaha abhayanti. The great sages who can purify the whole world, they are visiting your palace. Yudhishthira Maharaj and Pandavas are residing in Indraprastha, but all the great sages are coming one by one. Why? Why are they coming to visit Pandavas? They also have a reason. Why? Somebody is there. Exactly. Yesham grihe avasatiti sakshat. In that Yesham grihe, that griha, your griha, that's palace. Avasati. Who is residing? Sakshat Gudham Param Brahma Manushya Lingam. Gudham Param. He's residing incognito. Who? Param Brahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Manushya Lingam. Just like an ordinary human being. That is Krishna. So he's telling you are not ordinary. Reminding Yudhishthira Maharaj, you already have all the qualification. You are already a great devotee. So this is Bhaktir Vashikaroti. Shri Krishna Karshani Mata. So Rupa Goswami specifically quotes this verse in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, showing that how bhakti attracts, how the Lord is so much captured by the bhakti of the devotees. That's why it's mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Udara sarva eteti. Udara sarva eveti. Everyone, people come. Why people come to Krishna? Artho jijñāsararthāti jñānīca bharadarshapha. But what is the conclusion? Udara sarva eveti. Everyone, all those who come to the Lord, they are all udara, they are all magnanimous. Because the Lord accepts their devotion. But for a jnani, their jnani is not mentioning impersonal jnani, but one who is in knowledge without material desires, approach the Lord treats such a person as his own self. This is the Lord's heart. Can you imagine? It's mentioned even in Bhagavad Gita. The Lord treats such a person who approaches him without material desires, with pure devotion, as his own self. So that's what it's telling here. That such kind of devotees have captured the heart. So the Lord is Atmarama. The Lord is known as Atmarama, right? He's self-satisfied. But even Atmarama Lord has to go out of himself. Why? Because of the devotion of the devotees. So it is mentioned, Atma Ramopi Ariramat. Atma Ramopi Ariramat. Meaning, even very poetically, Shukadeva Goswami mentioned, Atma Ramopi Ariramat. Even though he is Atma Rama, still Ariramat, he enjoyed with his devotees. They're referring to the gopis of Vrindavan. So this is the position of the Supreme Lord. He is completely captured. Now, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur presents this purport in a conversation form. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, just as Brahma and Shiva cannot save you because they are dependent on me. Okay? So the Lord is telling here, Durvasa approached. So the Lord Narayana is telling, Brahma and Shiva cannot save you because they are dependent on me. And the Lord is telling, because I am also dependent, so I cannot also save you. See, they couldn't save, they couldn't save because they are dependent, and I cannot save you because I am also dependent. So here Durvasa Muni makes another point. He says, you become dependent on your devotees by your nature, but this is not desired by the devotees. Important point. Durvasa making an interesting point, that you are dependent on your devotees. The Lord is dependent on his devotees by his nature, and the devotees are not after that dependency. Are the devotees after controlling the Supreme Lord? No. The devotee's desire is only to serve the Lord. There is no desire from the part of the devotees to control the Lord. So here the point is made that you are, by nature you are acting like this, but the devotees, they don't like this. They don't want to control you as such. That is not their desire as such. The Lord says, this is true, but I am dependent, but by my will, I become dependent on my devotees. Because I cannot give up my various sentiments towards them. This is expressed by the word iva. So, iva is telling, swatantra, aswatantra iva. We read in the verse, aswatantraha iva. I am aswatantraha, yes, dependent, no independence, iva. The iva is showing that it is because of his free will. The Lord's free will, he has become dependent. It's not the constitutional position of the Lord, but out of his free will, he's acting like this. So Durvasa thinks, look, I am suffering. You have to be compassionate, right? It's a genuine plea. You have to be compassionate, he's telling the Lord. But the Lord tells, I have forcefully given my heart to my devotee, so I cannot do anything. I have given, as if the devotee's bhakti has forcefully taken my heart. So the Lord is telling, I cannot do anything. Can you imagine? So even though the Lord wants to show mercy, but he cannot. We will explain why he cannot. Yes, it is mentioned, I have forcefully given my heart, I forcefully give my heart to my devotees. That is given. Now, why he cannot do compassion, we'll discuss. But see this position of the Supreme Lord, that he has given his heart to his devotees. Think about this point. It's a very interesting, because Vishwanath Thakur explained the Atmarama nature of the Lord, self-sufficient nature of the Lord, and then he explains that even though he is Atmarama, still he Ariramat, he enjoyed with the gopis. Now, in the 61 explanations of Atmarama verse in which book? In Chaitanya Charitamrita. Who is speaking to whom? Or Sanatan Goswami? Sanatan Goswami. 61 explanations of Atmarama verse. There, in Atmarama verse is Atmaramascha Muneya Nirgandhascha Urukarmaya Kurvanti Ahedaki Bhakti Idham Bhuda Guno Hare. Guna, it's explained about Guna. Even the self-realized personalities get attracted to the qualities of the Lord. So the Lord explains the quality. And when the Lord explains the quality, he comes to exactly the same point. He quotes this verse, Aishwarya Madhurya Karunye Swarupa Purnata Bhakta Vatsalya Atma Paryanta Vadanyata. So it's in the Madhya chapter 24. So yes, the Lord has three qualities. Aishwarya, Madhurya, Karunya. Aishwarya, we know Aishwarya. Opulence. Madhurya, his sweetness. Karunya, his compassion. Swarupa Purnata, he is complete in these three qualities. But Bhakta Vatsalya, for the love for his devotees, what Atma Paryanta Vadanyata. What is that? He is so magnanimous that he gives himself to his devotees. So this is the topmost quality of the Lord. In the Bhakta Vatsalya, giving himself to his devotees. This is the point that is indicated here by the Lord. Grasta Hridaya. Sadhubhi Grasta Hridaya. So and the Lord here says that I have given my heart, forcefully given my heart to my devotees, and I cannot do anything. So we are here in the 4th chapter of the 9th canto, and we are going to which canto soon? 10th canto. So the entire 10th canto is about this, especially the Vrindavan pastime. It's about what? Atma Paryanta Vadanyata. This is the one. In Sadhubhi Grasta Hridaya. Who is there? Sadhubhi Grasta Hridaya. Who is Sadhubhi Grasta Hridaya in 10th canto? Krishna. And who are the sadhus there? Yeah, and all the residents of Vrindavan. He is being completely captured by the devotion of the devotees of Vrindavan. So this is actually leading us to the 10th canto. This verse and this mood is leading us to the 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Even that's why Shukadeva Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit, in the conversation between Shukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit, hearing the intimate pastimes of the Gopas and Krishna, Shukadeva Goswami was surprised. He explaining this, even he was surprised. What's really going on here? The cowherd boys are playing with the Lord. They are also playing on the flute. The Gopas, Kejit Venum Vadayanto, they are also playing on the flute. They are running behind Krishna. They are playing the flute, they are playing the horn. Then some are making the sound like the bumblebees. Some are making the sound like the cuckoo birds. Some are dancing like the peacocks. Some are wrestling with Krishna. And Krishna get defeated and he has to carry these sadhus, the cowherd boys. They are sadhus. They are the great yogis. So, in conclusion, Shukadeva Goswami quotes this verse. Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena mayashritanam naradarakena sakam vijahru krita punya punja. He says, what good fortune these boys have. Idham satam brahma sukhanubhutya. For the transcendentalists who are Gyanis, Krishna is known as Brahman, impersonal Brahman. Dasyam gatanam paradevatena. For those who have taken shelter as a servant, he is the Supreme Lord. And for Mayashritanam, those who have taken shelter of the material energy, Naradarakena. Daraka means just an ordinary child. Naradaraka, only ordinary child. But Sakam Vijahru Krita Punya Punjaha, who played along with that Krishna, that is the cowherd boys. Sakam Vijahru. They have Krita Punya Punjaha. They have amassed so much of spiritual credits to play with Krishna in this way. So he glorifies the good fortune of the Gopas. So Krishna is having such an intimate affairs with the Gopas. How about in Vatsalya, how about Mother Yashoda? They are also completely captured by the Lord. So many pastimes we can hear. The height of that is mentioned in the Damodar pastime. Yeah? Even before that, Tavankri yukma manusritya sarisrupanto ghosha prakhosha ruchiram vrajakardameshu tannada hrishta manasavanusritya lokam mugdha prabhitavadu bhetiranti matro. It's mentioned, this is actually the crawling pastimes of Krishna. It's very interesting because Krishna, so very interesting verses there. Tavangri yugumam anusritya sari surpanto. They were crawling in the dust of Braj, just like the serpents. Because serpents, they don't go straight, right? They go like that. This is how Krishna and Balaram, Tau, all these childhood pastimes are explained in dual form. Tau means two of them, Krishna and Balaram. In all pastime, both Krishna and Balaram are there. Tau Angri Yukmam, there both lotus feet are Sarisrupanto, going like this. Ghosha praghosha ruchiram vrajagardameshu. And their ankle bells are making such a melodious sound. Vrajagardameshu, in the dust of Vrajabhumi. And Tannada Hrishta Manasa Vanusrutya Lokam. And as they are moving about, they hear the conversation, the sound of older Gopas and Gopis, especially older Gopis, who are like the mothers. And hearing that sound, Krishna and Balaram think that they are my mother. This is Mother Yashoda, this is Mother Rohini. In that way, they follow the sound and they go near this older Gopis. Then they immediately realize, no, this is not our mother. So what do? They move away. So this is, and how they move away, they think as if they are fearful. Oh, no, I don't want to go there now. I want to go to my mother. So Mother Yashoda and other Gopis, they are enjoying these pastimes. They are completely captivated by this pastime. It is mentioned, they gave up all the household activities and they started watching the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram. So this is the residents of Vrindavan. Then what to speak about? The most intimate devotees of the Lord, the Gopis. It is mentioned, even Uddhava remembers in the 47th chapter of the 10th canto, even Mother Lakshmi couldn't get the great good fortune of this intimate devotees of Krishna. What to speak about Swaryoshitam? What to speak about the residents of Swarga? Nalina Gandha Rucham. They have fragrance of Nalina Gandha. What is the fragrance? They have the fragrance of lotus. Who? Swaryoshitam. The residents of Swargaloka. But what even they couldn't even think about such pastimes. So what is the great good fortune of these devotees? Because sadhubhi grasta hridaya. The same point. They have completely captured the heart of the Lord. And this purport is so significant because how to get to that point which is explained. Therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur continues, therefore my mercy exists in their mercy. Who is their mercy? The Lord is telling, my mercy exists in the mercy of my devotees. If the Lord has to become merciful, then his devotee has to become merciful. That is the only way. Therefore, my mercy exists in their mercy. The Lord's mercy follows the mercy of the dear devotees. So this purport is based on this particular point, that we have to surrender to the devotees of the Lord. And specifically, we remember the pastime of Srila Prabhupada in 1950. He was reading the purport of Bhagavad Gita verse 241. Vyavasayikatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. So when he was reading the purport, he read the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And this very powerful purport. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, the instructions of my spiritual master to worship the personality of Godhead by chanting, remembering, serving his lotus feet and so on are my only sadhana, my only sadhya, my only livelihood. I am incapable of giving up this instruction either in the stage of practice or in the stage of perfection. They alone are my object of desire and my only responsibility. Besides them, I can desire no other responsibility, not even in my dreams. It is all the same to me whether I feel happy or unhappy, or whether my material existence is eradicated or not. Can you see? Such a powerful statement. And Srila Prabhupada read this. He said, then he concluded that what he has to do. He was completely determined to fulfill the order of a spiritual master. Can you imagine? And it is whether it is my personal happiness or distress, it doesn't matter. What it matters is the pleasure of my spiritual master. That's why it is quoted here. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. Journey to America was not easy. Preaching in America was not easy for Srila Prabhupada. It was risking his own life. He had to go through severe pain. But why did he do that? Because he was completely aligned with the desire of a spiritual master. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. This is the real training. If you want to go to the spiritual world, if you want to go to Vrindavan, the mood of Vrindavan is not personal pleasure or distress, but the pleasure of Krishna. And how do we practice that? By following the instruction of the spiritual master. We don't consider whether our pleasure was distress, but follow the instruction of spiritual master. This is the training ground. We may fail, but we had to pick ourselves and we had to keep moving. This is the training ground. Can you see how logical it is if you think about it? This is the training ground. The spiritual master is representing the Supreme Lord. Sakshat dharitvena samasta shastra. He's so dear to the Lord. So he's representing the Lord. And if he pleases the spiritual master, the Lord is pleased. And this is the process. So this is completely demonstrated. It has been epitomized by Srila Prabhupada. One time, Srila Prabhupada was in Mayapur and some of his godbrothers started criticizing Srila Prabhupada. This Swamiji is not, Bhaktivedanta Swami is not visiting for the arati at the samadhi of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Prabhupada's godbrothers criticized. The Swami is not coming. Why Swami Maharaj is not coming? He is in his ISKCON. Why is he not coming? So some of his disciples approached and told Srila Prabhupada, some devotees are complaining that why are you not visiting Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj's Samadhi? Prabhupada pounded on the desk, like this. He was making a statement. He pounded on the desk and he said, I am never separated from my spiritual master. Never separated from my spiritual master. And that is the only reason he attributes all success to his spiritual master. Can you imagine this? He attributes all success to his spiritual master. Everything. To the degree that Srila Prabhupada said, all my disciples are sent by my spiritual master to train them. Can you imagine? This is the dependency on the spiritual master. So because of that dependency, he was able to achieve so much. Of course, we understand Srila Prabhupada as a Siddha Purusha. We understand his perfect nature. But at the same time, we see his nature as a disciple, the perfect disciple, so is a perfect master, perfect guru. So this is dependent. This is such an important point. And such kind of a dedication was demonstrated by even disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Very interesting. Because among the intelligentsia in India, there was this conversation. How ISKCON is able to achieve so much? Talking about 70s and early 80s. How is it possible? Because all our Westerners, they are not from any Vedic background, but Srila Prabhupada is building temple after temple, and Prabhupada has die-hard followers, right? How is it possible? They are able to do so much. And their conclusion was one word, or one phrase, guru-nishta. It's only because of guru-nishta. And we know that. Prabhupada also told that I have given you the qualification. I have given you the qualification. So this is by complete dependence on Guru, we don't know what we can achieve. Anything is possible. So that is the dependency. And that's what we have to cultivate. And immediately I remember this pastime of Bhanu Maharaj and other two couples were traveling. They were on the way to Mathura when they reached Delhi. You remember who are the other couples? Yeah. When they reached Delhi, Yamuna Mataji, Gurudas Prabhu, yeah. And Prabhupada said, when they reached, or before reaching Delhi station, train station, Prabhupada was told, okay, you can take your bag, next station is Delhi, you can get off and open a temple. Can you imagine? Next train station, it is Delhi, get off and open a temple. And they did that. They just got off. Of course, they had to go through the struggle. They opened a temple. This is guru-nishta. We know the pastime of even Bhurijan Prabhu went to Hong Kong to open a temple. That's it. Didn't know anyone. Just went to Hong Kong and opening a temple. Don't know the language. And just going there and opening a temple. How is it possible? This is dependency on Guru's instruction. It's amazing. If you think about it, it's amazing. I remember this pastime. Srila Prabhupada instructed His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj, go to Bhuvaneshwar, open a temple. Maharaj told Prabhupada, ask for some men and money. That's natural, right? If you want to open a temple, we need some people coming along and need some funds. It is logical, right? So Gaur Govinda Maharaj indicated, need some people and some Lakshmi. And Prabhupada became very angry. Prabhupada asked, don't you have faith in Krishna? So if you have faith in Krishna, Krishna will provide men and money. So this is the standard of Prabhupada. Can you imagine? This is the standard of Prabhupada. We know so many pastimes. Prabhupada sending Tamal Krishna Maharaj finally to get land in Mayapur. Finally, Tamal Krishna Maharaj sorted everything. He came late in the night and knocked the door, and servant said, Tamal Krishna Maharaj has come. And the first thing that Tamal Krishna Maharaj told Prabhupada, land is yours. Land is yours. This is guru-nishta. So we have so many examples. Prabhupada's disciples and also grand disciples, so many devotees. Guru-nishta. This is guru-nishta. So that is emphasized in this verse. So what we have to do? We need to understand what pleases our Guru Maharaj. First, we need a Guru spiritual master, 100%. And we can ask the Guru we can hear the lectures, then we understand what's the mood and mission of the Guru. It's not that difficult to understand what pleases the spiritual master. Is it right? It's not that difficult, and if there is any doubt, he can go and ask. There will be sufficient instructions provided. And then we can try to follow that. So the life is meant to do that. This is perfection. That following that is the perfection. So that's what is mentioned here. And so Narottam Das Thakur says, one shouldn't, without being a devotee of a devotee, one cannot be released from the material entanglement. Gopi bhartu patakamalayo dasa dasana dasaha. Tava bhritya bhritya paricharaga bhritya bhritya bhrityasya bhritya iti mam smara lokanatha. This King Kulashekara mentions in Mukunda Mala Stotra. He uses how many times? 7 times. Bhrityasya bhritya, bhritya means servant. Bhrityasya bhritya paricharaka. Paricharaka also means bhritya, same meaning as paricharaka as a servant. Paricharaka, bhritya bhritya, bhrityasya bhritya iti mam smara lokanatha. Oh Lokanatha, think of me as 7 times. Servant of, 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 servant, like that. So this is the statement. Can you imagine? This is the mood. And Lord Chaitanya is saying, Dasana Dasa. This is the mood of, this is the mood that is established by the Lord and His great devotees. So Prabhupada concludes. What is the conclusion? Following the instructions of a devotee is more valuable than following the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. In other words, it is of course we follow Bhagavad Gita. At the same time, we ask the spiritual master to understand what we need to do. So following that is important. It's not just, okay, I'm reading Bhagavad Gita, I cannot follow your instruction. That doesn't work. So such an emphasis is given on following the instructions of the spiritual master. By that, when we become dear to the spiritual master, we become dear to Krishna. And that epitome, the perfection of that is sadhubhihi krasta hridayaha. That such devotees capture the heart of the Lord. Then the Lord Himself says, I have forcefully given my heart, my devotees, and they can do whatever they want. So the Lord's mercy follows the mercy of His devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any questions or any comments? Yes.
Krishna says how that whoever takes shelter of me, I guarantee them all the protection. And also it's the nature of a great personality that
yes,
whoever takes shelter of them, they will give them protection. So in both the cases here, but here Krishna is
very good point. The Lord has promised many times, I'll give protection to my devotees, whoever is taking shelter of me. Durvasa has taken shelter of the Lord, but what has he done? There is always an exception to the rule. What is the exception? The Lord will not forgive if you have done Vaishnava aparadha. If we offend a devotee, sometimes devotee may forgive, devotee may not take it as an offense, just like Ambarish Maharaj. He didn't take it as an offense, but the Lord took it as an offense. This is the problem. So that's why Pandavas, the Kauravas did so much of offense to Pandavas. The Lord took it as an offense. They may not have, but the Lord took it as an offense. So, yes, the Lord will give protection, but if you offend devotees, then even the Lord cannot protect. So important is understanding the Vaishnava aparadha and not doing that. So it emphasizes the same point. Then one shouldn't offend devotees. So that is the point. So that is the exception to the rule. So it is mentioned, if you do aparadh, it is such that one can, all the bhakti that we have done, everything is ruined in no time. Even though one may have done, okay, it is like if you take an ice. Ice was in the freezer for 100 years. You take the ice and if you expose to heat, it will melt. 100 years in the cool room, it's not enough. Similarly, you can perform bhakti for 100 years or hundreds of years. But if you still offend devotees, it's gone. We cannot access any bhakti credit. It's taken away. Boom, gone. So that is the problem. So making that point very clear here. Yeah. Microphone. Yeah.
Given that formula you given just now, how does it work in a grahastha life between husband and wife?
Okay, I think please refer to yesterday's Bhagavatam class. I am not experienced in Grihasthashram, but I can try to repeat what Keshav Prabhu told yesterday. The same point came, right? Among children, among husband, wife. So Prabhu made an interesting statement. Yes, to some level, there is some kind of an offense, but it's not serious. It's not that serious. Because as Prabhu was telling, Chanakya Pandit says, what is the fight between husband and wife is compared to? Thunder. Maybe the rumbling you hear. It is noisy. The rumbling is there. But we shouldn't take so seriously. What is that?
Both serving the same Lord Krishna. We both serving the Lord Sri Krishna.
Yes.
But still, sometimes ups and down goes.
Exactly. So as it is mentioned, if the husband loves Krishna, wife loves Krishna. But among each other, there will be problems. That's how it is. Because that's how it is. Because no relation is perfect without Krishna. So the relationship is triangular. Any relationship is triangular through Krishna. So if we perfect our love to Krishna, then we can. Till then, there will be some calamities at home. That's okay. The main thing is serve together, despite the arguments. That is the essence of it. At the end, if service is happening, it's okay. Some problems? All right. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna. In the Pandavas and pastime where Lord Krishna takes the side of the Pandavas because they're his devotees and the Kauravas are constantly offending them, trying to kill them and whatnot. But then we see Balaram, he didn't want to take side of the Pandavas, or he wanted to be impartial because he had some favoritism to Duryodhana.
Yeah.
But although the Pandavas were actually his devotees as well. And
so that's why it is mentioned, even Duryodhana is not an ordinary person. Srila Prabhupada explains in one lecture. We have to see him also not as an ordinary person, even though he's playing the part of a demon. Prabhupada explains in one of the lectures. So, and who is Balaram? Balaram is his guru, his teacher. And so that's the reason Duryodhana is higher in terms of skills in the club fighting. Bhima had more strength, but in terms of skill set, Duryodhana was superior. So yes, we can see that connection. So that's why Balaram didn't want to directly take part in the whole battle of Kurukshetra. He didn't want to see that. What did he do? He went on a pilgrimage. He went on. He didn't want to be part of it. So yes, that also shows that Krishna is Supreme Lord, Balaram is also Supreme Lord. But they have their own individualities and their likes and dislikes. That is variety. Even in the perfectional stage, even in the supreme stage. Yeah. Okay, Sivya.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you mentioned how we have to connect with Krishna either through the spiritual master or through the devotees. Now, when we're in japa retreats or like we're in the temple doing japa, it feels okay to connect because
Okay too?
connect with Lord Krishna because we have the guidance of our spiritual master and the instructions.
Yes.
But when we're not in the temple or we're at home with our family, is it offensive to connect in such an environment directly with Krishna? Or
No, we are connected to the spiritual master and senior devotees, Prabhupada, through their instruction. It's not dependent on which place where we are situated. Prabhupada and all the devotees are instructing us to connect to Krishna through the process of chanting. So doing that is connecting to Krishna through the spiritual master. And not doing that, we are deviating. So the place doesn't matter. Isn't it? Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Grandharaj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.